Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You know, I was looking at this one today, and today is National Lollipop Day. Now, who can't go for a good lollipop? Now, Josh has the picture there. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 FM 98.1 video feed, those look like the lollipops you get over at Disneyland. My wife yelled in the room, in the office, in the studio here, saying, you know, lollipops, how about C's candy? And I like those C's lollipops. Those are good. And today is also National Fortune Cookie Day. Now, if you look at fortune cookies, most of them have something inside. They have the little sayings inside of them. But on the back of the saying, some of them now have lottery numbers. I'm looking at it right now. Powerball, $544 million for tonight. And tomorrow's Mega Million, $707 million. Yahoo! Yeah. Yahoo! So now, don't think you're going to win. Here's the idea with them. So the Powerball, I think you can play for $2, and the Mega, I think you play for $5, something along those lines. It's entertainment. What would you do if you won? It's kind of like going to the movies, except it's cheaper. Go to the movies, what do they charge? $15, $20 or something like that to go to a movie now? And here you can get a Powerball ticket, I think, for $2. And you can say, you know, this is what I would do with the money. And at the end of the couple hours, you have the exact same thing. Nothing. Just throw that out there for you. And it's also National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Now, I'm looking at the National Day calendar. Why is there a picture of a man in front of the doghouse? Maybe it's because we're the ones that end up in the doghouse most of the time. I just throw that out there for you. Let's see what the markets are doing today. It's been a rocky road. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 113 points. The NASDAQ is up 205. S&P 500 is up 29. Oil down 45 cents a barrel, 82.04 a barrel right now on the WTI, which is what we watch. 10-year Treasury is up 4.5 basis points, 4.59. And the mortgage bond down 22 basis points, bond down, rates up. Now, I am going to share with you, I've shared this before. I will share it again because maybe you weren't listening. Shame on you. But when you see oil going down and we see all of these attacks and the unrest in the Middle East, what that's telling you is the markets are saying somehow, some way, oil is getting through. Otherwise, oil prices would be jumping up. Now, I did look, and I see the gas prices. They are increasing. Now, we expect gas prices in California to go up. Thanks, Gavin. $4 a gallon right now is the national average. $5.50 is now the average in California. $5.50 a gallon. Ow! And I venture to say, yeah, we're probably going to keep on going up because we like taxes in California. Hey, did you see the newest Gavinism? So I don't know. I didn't see that. I haven't. I'm old, but there's a new. Gavin wants to give families of newborn babies free diapers. Have you seen that story, Josh? Did you see that one? Free diapers. Okay, now here's the deal. It was supposed to be where they were going to buy these diapers and give them away. Now, are you ready for this? Here's where it gets interesting.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Would it surprise you to know that the nonprofit organization that got the no-bid contract for the diapers is something affiliated with Gavin Newsom's wife? You just can't make this stuff up.
I got a bad feeling about this.
It's just unbelievable. Unreal. So it's California. It's Gavin Newsom. Could you imagine if he became president, all the corruption that he could get away with? I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying that he's a corrupt person. I'm just saying it's my opinion, and I'm right. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more homes, better prices, a buyer's summer. 7 credit words trip up almost everyone. Here's what they really mean, and one stroke and your spouse cannot touch the bank account. How do you get around that? We'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual lock rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They tell us the number you put in your mortgage calculator to determine your principal and interest payments. Don't have a mortgage calculator? rsrlinks.com/calculators. rsrlinks.com/calculators. Get one. It's free. Friday rates, wow, they look pretty good. Almost all of them went down on Friday. Conventional 30-year fixed, 6.537 down. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 6.796. That was up. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.318 down. VA 30-year fixed, 6.138 down. And the USDA 30-year fixed, 6.292. That was down. Now, if you want to know our thoughts about the market, each Friday we put out a report, rsrlinks.com/WUC. It's our weekend update. If you're out there looking at buying a house, you want to get the weekend update. it has all the information for you. What's driving the markets right now? Well, we've got the S&P 500. That is up 37 points. 10-year Treasury is up 4.5 basis points to 4.59. And the mortgage bond down 22 basis points. Bond down, rates up. What's driving it? WT oil prices. They are down a touch today, down 39 cents a barrel, just beneath that $82 a barrel after some news of a potential 10-day ceasefire.
You'll know better than that.
Yeah, we'll see. There have been significant escalations in the Persian Gulf, yet oil prices, while higher than a few weeks ago, have not surged as one may have expected. This is due to more oil flow taking place than previously thought. Chris Wright, U.S. Energy Secretary, spoke yesterday and explained that currently 2/3 of pre-war oil traffic is being transported out of the Persian Gulf, which has prevented oil prices from moving even higher. He explained that 7 million barrels per day are going through the Strait of Hormuz, which is higher than previously thought, with ships literally flying under the radar without their transponders on. Another 7 million barrels are going from an east to west pipeline through Saudi Arabia into the Red Sea, where it can go up through the Suez Canal or down through the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, if I said that right. Since 2/3 of pre-war oil is still being shipped, it has cushioned the rise in oil prices despite the recent escalations. This could be in jeopardy, however, because the Houthis, an Iran-backed Yemeni group, said they would impose a maritime blockade on Saudi Arabia, putting at risk the flow of millions of barrels that the Saudis export via the Red Sea. Oil is slightly lower today after a senior Iranian official said that mediators have proposed a 10-day ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran to try to find ways to revive the interim memorandum of understanding and reopening of the Strait. Negotiations and ceasefires have been unsuccessful thus far, but a cooling of tensions and a period of calm would be welcome news to the market. I don't think it would be good for anything other than the market, but that's just me. Gas prices have gone back above $4, but based on the current price of WTI, the price of gas should be closer to $3.50 a gallon. This shows there's significant risk premium in place on the price of gas with the recent escalations. Light news week this week. Tuesday, we get the ADP weekly employment. Thursday, jobless claims. Friday, new home sales. And that's about it. Next week, we are going to get the information from the Federal Reserve because they have their meeting next week. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by rsrloans.com, rsrloans.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, more homes, better prices, a buyer's summer. We'll talk about it. 7 credit words trip up almost everyone. Here's what they really mean. And one stroke, and your spouse can't touch the bank account. We'll tell you why. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now,
welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. More homes, better prices, a buyer's summer. If you thought about buying a home in the past few years, you may have run into two frustrations. Asking prices that kept climbing and too few homes to choose from. In many places, both sticking points are letting up this summer with lower asking prices and more homes for sale. Let's look at the trends and what they mean for your search. Sellers are pricing to attract buyers, according to Realtor.com. The national median asking price was $430,000 in June, nearly $11,000 under what it was the year before. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 and FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart of today's sellers are pricing to attract buyers. That's the 8th month in a row that the typical asking price has dipped below where they were the previous year. That's according to the same Realtor.com report. And while falling prices can sound worrying, this isn't a sign of an impending crash. We're talking about asking prices, not sold prices. This is a sign that today's sellers are meeting the market where it is and pricing to draw buyers. And that's actually something we'd expect from the market. As Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com puts it, quote, sellers are reading market conditions and are pricing accordingly from the start rather than listing high and cutting later. And buyers are taking note and making bids. This is a welcome sign that we are in a functioning market. Asking prices were never going to climb forever. Now they're just settling closer to what buyers can actually pay. That signals a healthier market and sellers readjusting their expectations. More homes are available now if you spent the past few years watching homes disappear before you could even schedule a tour. This is for you. Supply is starting to catch up. According to Realtor.com, the number of homes listed for sale in June was the highest June number we've seen in 3 years. And you can see that on the newest chart that Josh just put up. This means more options for you and less competition for each one. Now, supply is not back to normal everywhere. As you can see, we're still down from where we were back in 2017 to 2019, but in many places, it's better than it's been in a while. Here's how that helps you. You don't have to rush to offer just to stay in the running, and you have better odds of finding and landing the right home, not just the one that's available. Plus, you'll have more room to negotiate, so you're searching from a stronger position than buyers had even a year ago. For first-time buyers looking for lower-priced homes, these trends line up especially well. Misha Fisher, chief economist at Zillow, explains, quote, the lowest price tiers are exhibiting some softness in terms of price. They also had the most listing activity growth, the first time since 2022 that's been the case, unquote. So you're searching for your first place or your next house. There's little more to choose from and a little more give on price. Bottom line, if a tight budget or a thin selection has kept you from buying a home, now might be the time to restart your search. Ready to see what's available? Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We'll be happy to figure that out for you. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Hey, Josh, we can just change that to triple D, rsrlinks.com/DDD. But, we've got both, so it doesn't matter. There are 7 words in the credit world that trip up almost everyone. Not because they are hard, but because nobody ever stopped to explain them in plain English. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. So let me be clear. Let me clear the air on 7 credit words that get mixed up all the time. Get these right, and you walk into your next big financial decision with a real advantage. Word number 1, credit report. A lot of folks think their credit report and their credit score are the same thing. They are not. Your credit score is a 3-digit number. Your credit report is the long story behind that number. Think of it this way. Your score is your grade point average. Your report is the full transcript. The score is a quick summary. The report holds years of history that lenders actually read. Word number 2, inquiry. An inquiry just means someone looked at your credit. There are 2 kinds. A hard inquiry happens when you apply for new credit, like a car loan or a mortgage. That one can nudge your score down just a little, not enough to worry about. A soft inquiry happens when you check your own score. And here's the part people get wrong. Checking your own credit score does not hurt your score at all. Checking your own credit does not hurt your score at all. I said it twice so you can hear it. So there is no reason to be afraid to look. If you want a safe place to check yours, I offer a simple tool at rsrlinks.com/FICO. Word number 3, delinquent. It sounds harsh. All it means is a payment is past due. That's it. It does not say anything else about you as a person. In our world, we measure it 2 ways. How many payments are behind and how long have they been behind? This one matters a lot because late payments carry real weight on your score. So if money gets tight, call your lender before a payment is late, not after. Word number 4, utilization. This is a big one. Utilization is how much of your available credit you're actually using. If you have a $10,000 limit and you're carrying a $5,000 balance, your utilization is 50%. Lower is better. The less you owe compared to what you have available, the stronger you look. Paying balances down before the statement closes is one of the fastest ways to help your score. And if you want a simple plan to pay those balances down faster, I put together a tool at rsrccpayment.com, rsrccpayment.com. Word number 5, forbearance. This is a temporary pause on your loan payments. Say you finish your bachelor's degree, start paying student loans, then head back for a master's. You could put those first loans into forbearance. The debt does not disappear, it just waits. And because the lender is not expecting a payment during that pause, you are not counted as late. Word number 6, version. FICO builds different versions of its scores, just like your phone gets new versions over time. Different lenders may use different versions for different needs. That's why the score you see on one app might not match the score your lender pulls. Same you, different ruler. Word number 7, credit invisible. This one's sneaky. Being credit invisible means there's not enough in your file to even generate a score. To get a FICO score, you generally need at least one account open for 6 months or more, and at least one account reported in the last 6 months. It is like trying to get a final grade when you never turned in any homework. You have to build the history first. So what does this mean for you? Here's the bigger point. Every one of these words connects back to one idea: financial literacy. And financial literacy is not a class you finish once and forget. It grows up right alongside you. A teenager needs to understand budgeting and how to start building credit. A few years later, it's about a lower rate on a car. Later still, it's understanding how a mortgage really works. And this is where I want to challenge the usual thinking. Most people obsess over one number, the interest rate. But the rate is just one word in a much longer story. Strategy beats rate always. Picture 2 families who buy the same $655,000 home in the same month at the same time. 10 years later, one family has far more wealth than the other. Same house, same rate. The difference was strategy. It was understanding safety, liquidity, and return. It was knowing their household blended interest rate, not just one loan rate. Knowledge did that. That's why I want you to actually understand these words instead of nodding along. The family that understands credit makes better moves for decades. If you want to put this to work, start with 2 things. First, know your numbers. I offer a simple credit checking tool at rsrlinks.com/FICO. And remember, checking your own credit does not hurt your score. Second, make a plan to get out of debt for good. Go to rsrlinks.com/DDD. That's rsrlinks.com/DDD for debt done date. It shows you how to become completely debt-free by a specific date you choose. It's the difference between wishing you knew and being glad you know. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, one stroke and your spouse can't touch the bank account. We'll tell you why and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE numbers 0186452.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now,
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrwealthbuilder.com, rsrwealthbuilder.com. Imagine being alive, married for decades, and your spouse still cannot pay the mortgage because the account is in your name and you cannot sign. That's not a rare nightmare. It happens to families all the time. I am Ron Siegel, certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Most people believe that if something happens to them, a spouse or an adult child can simply step in and handle the money. The house payment, the insurance bill, the bills. It feels obvious. It's also often wrong. Here's the reality. If you become incapacitated from a stroke, dementia, an accident, or a serious illness, your family may have no legal authority to access your bank accounts or manage your finances. Banks are legally required to protect the account holder. Good intentions in a marriage certificate are not the same as legal authority. So what does this mean for you? Without the right documents, your loved ones can face frozen accounts, stalled bills, and in the worst case, a court-supervised conservatorship where a judge decides who controls your money. That process is slow, public, and expensive, all while your family is already in crisis. Let me paint the picture. Imagine a husband who's always handled the family finances. He's the only name on the main accounts. One day he suffers a severe stroke. He's alive, but he can't make decisions. The mortgage is still due. The bills keep coming. And his wife discovers she cannot move money in the very accounts the family lives on. Her focus should be his recovery. Instead, she is fighting bank policies and legal questions about who's allowed to act. The home in this story carries a $655,000 mortgage in California, where values can run close to double the national average, so the stakes are not small. Two documents change this story. A durable power of attorney, which lets a trusted person manage your finances if you cannot, and a properly funded living trust, which lets a successor trustee step in to handle the assets inside it. Together, they give your family the legal authority to keep the lights on and the mortgage paid during a crisis. This is why I say strategy beats rate always. The interest rate means nothing if your family can't legally make the payment. The plan that keeps money flowing when you cannot act is worth more than any rate. Let me be clear about my lane. I'm not an attorney. I do not write these documents. What I do is connect families to trusted estate planning partners and make sure the mortgage and the accounts are set up so your family is not locked out at the worst possible moment. Do not wait for the emergency to find the gap. Build the authority now while you're healthy. Start at rsrlinks.com/estate. That's rsrlinks.com/estate. And I will point you to trusted estate planning partners and help you protect the home and the finances. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Thanks for listening to the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrwealthbuilder.com, rsrwealthbuilder.com. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.